Picture this. You've got someone on your team who works part-time as an accounting clerk. They do a pretty good job entering everything into your accounting software and coding it pretty correctly, or at least pretty much so. You're not big enough yet as a business to have a full-time accounting staff with a chief finance officer, etc. But you would definitely like to have a better picture of your cash flow, your projections, and your reporting so that you can do some analysis and make some solid strategic decisions. You think you need to make a change, but you're not sure how you would do it. And even if you do, the thought of switching, changing, and moving stuff, all that accounting software, it just makes you shudder. So what is a successful entrepreneur to do? We're here today with Sue Schnitz, the founder of Perfect Balance CPA. And Sue, I'll bet you dime to donuts, I think is the saying, that you've heard this question plenty of times, haven't you?
Yes, we have, because all we do is back office bookkeeping. We are a staff of 13 people, and we take care and take this headache off of the small business owner. A lot of times when you have someone working for you, you don't really know their skill set or if the financials and the things they're doing are correct. And there's a lot of liability, especially with payroll and taxes and things that need to be paid, that you assume people are paying and may not be paying. So when you have someone and you hire them, they may be bringing with them processes that aren't effective. We see this all the time. We come in and do an assessment. If you need a bookkeeper 20 hours a week or less, then we are a great fit for that. That's where our clients are. That's our sweet spot because they were very, very cost effective. You don't pay for vacation. You don't pay for overtime. You don't pay for health insurance. You don't pay taxes. Everything is outsourced, and you've got a team working on your accounting. And sometimes what happens is, for example, today I got a call from a prospective client that they have a person working for them and it's a full-time position. But when I went out to look at it, I think it's probably not even a part-time position. This person has turned the bookkeeping into making it a full-time position, probably by wasting a lot of time, and none of the numbers were accurate. And this was a school, and their income was overstated and their expenses haven't been paid on time. The accounting software had a ton of errors, and the poor executive director was so frustrated. She feels like she doesn't have any knowledge because he's withholding the financials because he knows they're wrong. So she doesn't have any information to run this business. And it's really, really frustrating. So that's why she called us today to come in, and we will end up taking over the bookkeeping. It's a very simple process to take over the bookkeeping. For us, it is just getting a copy of the QuickBooks or using their QuickBooks online. And she was smart about it. She said that they suspected that they had some issues because of the fact that he wasn't responding to getting the financials done on time. Bills weren't being paid on time. He wasn't sending invoices to customers on time. Cash flow was a problem. So those are kinds of things that let you know that you've got a problem. If you're getting a lot of excuses, then you know you've got some serious issues. And also, again, follow your gut. As an entrepreneur, you know when things aren't right. Follow that and make the changes necessary. And that's why outsourcing just works so well, because you're also getting a team of professionals. And if somebody goes on vacation, your bills will still get paid. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And you don't have to worry about drama or things and gossip in the office, because that won't be happening because your bookkeeping and all the money side of your business is not in the office.
Well, given all those invaluable points there, Sue, about how to spot when things are going a bit wobbly or worse, and the reasons why it's really a smart play to get out of that situation as soon as possible. Can you just walk us through kind of first steps to making that change, please?
The first steps are, what we do is we take a look at your QuickBooks. We want to look at what's going on and see where the problem areas are. We are highly skilled at looking at your books and saying where the mistakes are. After that, we go through and make a list for you of the areas where things aren't being done properly. A lot of times, even the chart of accounts, if your chart of accounts is in alphabetical order, then you're really not running your business the right way. Your financial statement should tell the story. I should be able to sit down and read your financial statements like you would read a book. So, what's the source of the revenue coming in? What are your expenses going out? What is it costing you to be in this building? What is it costing you for your employees, for their wages and benefit? What are you spending on contractors? What are you spending on transportation? What are you spending for operating expenses? What's your advertising? You want to take a look at all those things and have your business tell the story. So that's probably one of the first things we always end up doing is changing the chart of accounts so that the business owner can get the story. We also make sure that the balance sheet is completely reconciled. If your balance sheet isn't correct, then your profit and loss isn't correct. And most small business owners don't even look at their balance sheet. But that's the most important thing for an accounting policy or theory is my balance sheet has to be correct. We'll put processes in place so that your bookkeeping is smooth and you don't want to pay your bills before they're due. So we set up payment cycles so that we can improve cash flow. You also want to stay on top of receivables. We help our clients do that. You also treat the books like your own, like we become your part of your team. And we also have no emotion. So we may look at something and say, you need to move, or this employee is really not doing what they should, or you have too many employees. We also get what being an entrepreneur is because that's what we are. So we are really in tune to what entrepreneurs need as far as budgets and cash flows, and that you can't have nothing is in cement when you own a business. You always have to be ready to change. You don't know what fork in the road you're going to take. So we want to work with our clients to be able to do projections and cash flows so that we can help them better plan and better manage their business. That's a lot of the advantages of outsourcing. And we're also bringing to the table so much experience with so many different clients and so many different industries that we are able to share that knowledge. Because if you go out with your friends or other business owners, most of the time they won't be telling you the truth. So when you deal with someone like us, you're going to get the truth, and you're also going to know what is really happening in the business world and what other people are doing that are successful and able to make more money.
Fantastic. And I know we sort of maybe should just bring this out very, very briefly before summing up. All of this is done with a clear plan, a transition plan, so that the business owner can keep the show on the road, right? This is not about disruption. This is about smooth transitions and getting to an even better place. So that's fantastic stuff.
The transitioning is really easy. Most people feel like that would be so difficult and so stressful. The transition from taking it in-house to outsourcing is really very easy. All we do and all we really need is a copy of the QuickBooks, and then we take it from there. It doesn't usually take us more than a few hours to transition. So many people think it's like hiring a new employee. It really isn't. We are able to do it in a day. So whenever our clients decide they want to come on, we can bring them on, and it doesn't really matter because they won't lose anything. If anything, they'll get a lot better and more timely information. And it's a very easy process to transition.
Well, that's a huge relief. And just for those who might be wondering, what if they're not currently using QuickBooks?
We use QuickBooks online and desktop version because it's easily accessible. We usually convert our clients over to QuickBooks. The reason we use QuickBooks is as your business grows, and that's everybody's dream and our dream for you, then you may need to take the business back in-house and hire an accounting staff. And when that comes, that will be a seamless transition because you'll just take your information and not lose any of your history. So that's why we use QuickBooks, because it's such a universal software used around the world. There's some other softwares out there, and we have found that they are not as comprehensive and not as easy to use for others and not as easily networkable and also extremely expensive. So we want it to be so that our clients can transition as their business grows, and that would be as seamless as transitioning to us.
Okay, great. That was the key as well, is that just in case that thought bubble kind of percolated up, that you're going to make this transition as smooth, easy, and painless as can humanly be done. And effectively, you're taking the pain and the worry away. That includes the transition, even if they're not yet on QuickBooks, right?
That's correct. We will make this very, very seamless. We've been doing it for 25 years. We have it down really, really well.
Wonderful. Well, really, if we now look at the bottom line, Sue, how would we just sum this up kind of in one sentence, the takeaway message from this video?
If your accounting system isn't working, you're not getting information to manage your business. And if you can't effectively measure what you're doing, then you can't manage your business. And outsourcing your bookkeeping really does take a lot of stress, drama, turnover, and expense out of running your business and your back office. Most people are so happy when they've outsourced. Most of the time I hear, I just wish I would have found you sooner. Because this is such a stressful place to be for a small business owner, especially if he's got someone who's not effective, or he has a lot of turnover, or she has someone she doesn't trust doing the books. It's extremely stressful. So once you've outsourced it and you can see what high level of bookkeeping and professionalism there is, it takes you up a step above your competition as well, because you are getting timely, accurate financial information. And when it's time to go to the tax accountant or your financial planner or your estate planner, they know the information is solid, and that saves you a lot of money with your tax CPAs and also your financial planners, because there's not as much work they have to do on their back end.
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I think on that note, it's time to wrap up. And thank you so much, Sue. These are just tremendous insights that are going to help business owners move on to much happier, much more sustainable position.
Thank you.
And if this is a conversation that really resonates, and you think, wow, I should really be speaking with Sue, and why wouldn't you? Then all you got to do is click the button below this video, and that'll allow you to set up a date and time of that works best for you, a time of your choosing. And I know, Sue, you'd be delighted to speak with people because you're so passionate about helping businesses managing correctly and growing happily.
We love it. It's just everybody who works for me is that way as well. We take it very personally, and we are just so happy to be able to provide a service like this because it makes everybody successful.